Okay, everyone, I'm here for episode, I believe it is 6 of the Slams of May, the month of wrestling reviews that took place in the month of May. Today's episode is Over the Edge 1998 from the WWF or WWE. For the sake of, as they are now and their history carries over, I'm calling it WWE. So, this event took place on May the 30th, 1998 from the Milwalkuee Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the same place that Steve Austin won the King of the Ring in 1996 from. We have 8 matches on this card, so a 40 total star possible event. The opening match is a tag team match, as it's LOD 2000 versus the D.O.A. It's a meh tag match. I mean, it's not bad. It's a 1.5. It's a formulaic tag match in a way, so it's 1.5 stars. D.O.A. goes for the switch. Droz catches them and, you know, flips that over, and an animal catches one of D.O.A. with a power slam and gets the win. So it's 1.5 stars. Like I said, it's very formulaic. So 1.5 stars. Nothing bad, but I wouldn't say it was really, really good. So then we get Jarrett versus Steve Blackman. 1 star here. This is not that great of a match, but it's not like a match to where it doesn't get any stars. It's a 1-star match. Finish comes when Tennessee Lee, who was Colonel Parker in WCW, used Blackman's kendo stick, or whatever he brought to the ring. He used it on Blackman, allowing Double J to get the win. So the next match is a interesting match. It's Marc Mero versus Sable. Now, this match was made. Mero gave Sable the option to find someone to represent her, and Sable decided to represent herself. And if Sable or her representative won, Mero would tear up his personal services contract that he had Sable sign in the storyline, and if Mero won, then Sable would leave the WWE. Mero won by tricking Sable and that he was going to lay down and let Sable beat him, but he laid down and he rolled, and then he small packaged Sable and won the match. No stars, and really this is more of an angle than a match. Yes, it's a match, but it's more of an angle because of this. And on top of that, Sable was back in in a couple weeks anyways, so they didn't even hear the stipulation for too long. So. And in case you're wondering, there's a lot of similarities in Mero and Sable, like Rusev and Lana. There's a lot of similarities there. But, yeah, no stars there. In fact, this is the worst actual match on this card, and it's really not a match. But it's the worst actual match that's counted as a match. So, next is a 3-on-2 handicap match. Kaientai versus Taka, Michinoku, and Bradshaw. For what it is, 1.5 stars. Kaientai win after Dick Togo hits a senton bomb on Taka. Taka eventually joined Kaientai in 1998 by SummerSlam, I believe it was. So, yeah. So, 1.5 stars. Nothing special. So then we get the WWE Intercontinental Championship match, The Rock versus Farooq. Earlier in the night, The Rock was out cutting a promo. Farooq attacked him. Powell drove him on a chair. So they did this thing where it appeared Rock was hurt and couldn't wrestle, but Sergeant Slaughter, commissioner of the WWE, said that if Rock didn't wrestle, then he would be stripped of the IC title. So Rock and Farooq have a match. It's a 1-star match. Farooq originally gets a free count, but Rock's foot's on the rope. So then Rock rolls up Farooq and hooks the ropes and wins the match and retains the IC title. He would lose the IC title at SummerSlam to Triple H. So next is a mask versus mask match. Kane versus Vader. 1.5 stars. The loser of this match must unmask. Vader lost and had to unmask, but the thing is, everyone has seen Vader without his mask. So this really wasn't a surprise. Anytime that you're doing a whole situation where someone must unmask, it's essentially what it is it's so it's for people can see what they look like who've never seen their face. Well, everyone has seen Vader's face, so this was the start of Vader's exit from the WWE, by the way. So 1.5 stars. Not a bad match for two big guys, but definitely not a good one. So next is a 6-man tag. D-Generation X versus The Nation. DX is represented by Triple H and the New Age Outlaws, and The Nation is represented by Owen Hart, D.O.A Brown, and The Godfather, or Mustafa, who would later become The Godfather. Formulaic 6-man tag. It gets 2 stars because the finish is Owen Hart pedigrees Triple H on the title and gets the win, which I'm giving an automatic half-star for. So just for that, because it's the ultimate humiliation to get beat by your own hold. However, the reason it's 2, even with that half star, not 2.5, is well, it was going to 2.5. With the pedigree on the belt, but Owen Hart and Triple H were not the legal men. Road Dogg and D.O. Brown were. So yeah. And DX and The Nation was an interesting feud, but the guy who got pinned and did the pin were not legal in the match at all. So it's one of those weird things in wrestling, but good match, 2 stars. So then we get what this event is best known for, probably, the WWE Championship match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Dude Love, with Vince McMahon as the guest referee, Pat Patterson as the guest ring announcer, and Gerald Brisco as the guest timekeeper, and Undertaker as the volunteer to make sure Vince calls the match fair. This is a very good match. Austin and Mick Foley had a chemistry about them that was really good. This is a very good match. It's 4 stars. Yes, it's a typical Attitude Era. There's brawling in the crowd because Vince makes it a no DQ and false count anywhere match and all this. Vince also said that the match would only end by his hand only. So, eventually Austin hits the stunner. Vince doesn't count. Foley, Dude Love gets a chair, goes to hit Austin. Austin ducks. Dude Love hits McMahon. Dude Love puts the mandible claw on Austin, but there's no referee, so Pat Patterson tries to count. Taker pulls Patterson out, chokeslams Patterson through the table. And then Brisco tries to count, and then Brisco gets chokeslammed through the Spanish announce table. Austin hits another stunner, and Austin takes Vince's hand. And with Vince's hand, counts 1, 2, 3. Meaning that it was Vince McMahon's hand that counted the 3. So it's a nice little touch of how Austin overcame the odds. So 4 stars, best match on here. So the total stars ratio is 12.5 out of 40, which is a D+ show. Actually, it's a D. It would need to at least gotten between a 15 to 17 to be a D+. So, because half of 40 is 20, so it's a D. So it's a D show, not a D-, but not good to be a D+. So it's a D. So this will be in the Slam MMA playlist. The next Slam MMA is Slamboree 1996. I am going to be doing something related to Judgment Day 2 Over the Edge 99. I don't know what it's going to be, though. It may be a review, I don't know. But that won't be, I won't deal with that till the 23rd, which is next Saturday at the earliest. So, the next WWE F/E Slam MMA will be Judgment Day 2000. So, if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thanks for watching. Bye.